All right, you guys, welcome in. So I want to do something a little bit different today. We are now in Aquarius season, and the reason I'm doing this reading is because Pluto in Aquarius has just hit the sun, or the sun has just hit Pluto, and we are about to see, or we are getting sort of a glimpse right now into what Pluto is going to do during the next 20 years. Okay, in terms of, we've been talking about the age of Aquarius coming in. We've been talking a lot about enlightenment. We've been talking about inventing ourselves and things along those lines. So I want to do a little reading today about this, about Aquarius season. We also have a new moon in Aquarius happening at the end of the month. So I will do a separate Aquarius reading for Aquarians. This is more for the collective. And what is Pluto conjuncting the sun, which happened yesterday, but it's going to hang with us for a little while, for a few days. And we also have had that parade of planets with them all lined up. So I just wanted to do this reading, get a sense of the messages that are coming through. What can we glean about what Pluto's intentions are for us? Pluto is a generational planet, and being in Aquarius, there is a certain amount of reinvention that's happening. So I want to get a sense of that. In the extended, I will pull cards for each zodiac sign, and I want you to watch the zodiac sign for your rising sign, not necessarily your sun. You can watch that one too, but the rising sign, the reason I'm saying that is because in a general reading, I am going to indicate house elements that may be impacted, okay? Meaning the parts of your life that might be impacted based on your rising sign. So that's going to happen in the extended. You just watch, you'll see what I'm saying, okay? All right, so let's see what's going on here. The age of Aquarius is upon us. Pluto is giving us a little bit of a foreshadowing right now. Pluto conjunct the sun. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I see that. Listen in stillness, you meet your true self. Oh my goodness, yes. Out of the mess comes elegant order. And say yes to your open door. So this is about reinvention. I think things are going to get a lot messier before they get even. We've been talking about that a lot this year, about how especially the astrology of the beginning of 2025 is very roller coastery. So one of the things that Pluto may be saying to us is that there's some things in your subconscious, because Pluto does rule the underworld, okay? So there's some things in your subconscious that the sun, when the sun hits Pluto, it illuminates them, right? It brings them to light. So you could be seeing some of your like kind of worst, I don't know, stuff coming up in terms of jealousy or just petulant behavior, childish behavior, things that are not really going to serve you, except they will serve you in this way, that you're going to meet your true self. So our shadow only becomes difficult when we don't want to own it. Okay. When you want to own the things that shadow is kind of the stuff you're ashamed of in your own life. Like, okay, I'm a little petty. Okay. I've got a little jealousy about things. Okay. Like those things are going to show up. So pay attention right now. This is a really good time to start journaling, because Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 20 years. And this is the time that you're really going to see some things that if you change them now or work with them now, they're going to yield big results. So if you notice this about your personality, that maybe I have no boundaries, maybe I'm not being, maybe I'm overcompensating, or maybe I'm being codependent in my relationships. Maybe I don't really know who I am. And, sometimes when people behave to harm others, and they do it thinking they're right. Okay, you clearly are watching it. You're like, wow, you're just being a jerk here. You're just, you're going to take away someone's rights, or you're going to take away someone's ability to speak, their voice, whatever. they think they're right because that's their level of consciousness. Okay. So do you understand what I'm saying here? That a lot of times people don't, you see egregious acts being perpetrated, hurting other people and things like that. And you're like, how could they do that? And how can other people who are like, yeah, how can you not see that this is a really unjust kind of way to behave? It's because that's the level of consciousness that exists. And so they think they're right in doing it, because I feel like the end justifies the means for somebody like that, that they feel like, well, to get what I want to create in the world, hey, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? Like that kind of thing, not really having a lot of empathy for the people they're steamrolling or anything like that. They're just like, hey, if I'm going to get to my vision of what the world is, and, this is why I'm here and all this kind of stuff, which is very, suggests to me an emperor without an empress, without a tempering, empathetic voice, then you're going to get a lot of mess. But it's almost like it has to happen that way in order for that level of consciousness to come out. Okay. It's like, it needs to be seen, for people to go, oh, yeah, I don't, now that I'm the one you're hurting, I don't know about that. I don't think that's the right thing. So there's something also about this sort of getting rid of, Pluto is very purgative, right? It's purging things. So there has to be some kind of like purging of the infection in order for medicine then to be applied. You can't just put a bandage over an infection. It will just get worse. So, and I feel like that's where we've been for a little while, trying to put bandages over an infection. We got to get some of this infection out. And, we've chosen on this planet how that may happen. But I feel like what's going to happen is once that infection gets out, it's like, thanks a lot, bye now. Like that part of us that says, I have to do something awful in order to get where I'm going, there's going to be karma for that. Okay, there's going to be karma for that. So Pluto being lit up by the sun, right? Pluto is the great illuminator, and it brings things out of the darkness. It brings things up to the surface so they can be seen, and the best disinfectant is sunshine. So watch for a lot of things to come up, like, watch for a lot of people to show their true colors. And that's something that may shock some of you. It may, for some of you, it's like, or there might be this, let's look at it in a positive way, that people are being authentic. Okay, I want to know that, because that's authentic on a level of consciousness that may not be mine, right? Like, I'm like, okay, not in alignment with that. So, but there's a sense of that we're seeing it. And I think that that's really important. And I feel like out of this mess comes elegant order. I'm so glad this card showed up like right away, because not only are we're kind of like looking at ourselves and going, is that who I am? Am I aligned with that, or am I not aligned with that? And really being honest with ourselves about like parts of ourselves that we have disowned, things that we don't like about ourselves as a collective and as an individual. Because I feel like the great awakening is that each person wakes up inside and goes, this is my authentic self. There's a higher level of Christ consciousness, which is about more about collaboration and more about love and all that stuff. But I feel like infection needs to get out of the wound. And however it got there, right? However it got there, we can have that discussion. But does it matter? I mean, Pluto is really lighting things up and willing to purge for us. And I feel like that's a good thing, because what's coming in is open doors, new beginnings, new opportunities. And so there may be a sense of, Pluto coming in, just trashing the joint, and then everybody looking at each other and going, okay, that wasn't it. Let's do something that has love at its core. Okay. So I feel like that might be the direction we're going in. But, and Pluto is showing us right now the benefits of that kind of action, or because we're seeing ourselves. Basically, I want you to do, I don't know, I want you to look at your own self over this week, because it's basically, it happened on the 21st and it's going through like 24th, 25th, right? We have that parade of planets, which is also powerful energy that they're all lining up. And I want you to look at your own personal life. Like I said, I'll be talking about the houses and what the parts of the life that might be hit in your chart, and you can see what part of your life may be hit by this. For me, it is my 5th house, house of creativity, and house of new romance, house of love, joy, sex, fun, all these good things. And like, you know, I might see that I'm like completely staying away from some of those things because of past experiences, but you're healed. Okay. You've done your healing work, and like things could move on. So do you want to open yourself up to that, or that might just show up right now? Okay. So let's take a look at the reading for everybody. This is for the collective. 9 of Swords, Lovers, Wheel of Fortune, King of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Wow, look at this. Okay, I'm just gonna take this here. And I see the Archangel Michael here too, so I love you. Okay, so, wow. I feel like some of you are getting an inkling of this new chapter. And some of you are expecting some big changes, some really big changes, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, romantically. And it's just like, okay, I'm just waiting for it. Like, I almost feel, because of this combination, if you take my tarot class, you know this, I almost feel like this is beyond our control right now. This is beyond our control, that there are significant changes coming in. I feel like obviously there's a sense of unease. I'm not sure exactly what shape that's going to take in my life. But I also feel like some of you may be expecting, or not expecting, hoping, wanting for someone to show up in your life romantically, or in terms of a career path or something like that, wanting this big change, really wanting that, but actually kind of having to, how do I say this? Having to erase the path that it's been on. Like, okay, we got to start fresh, brand new page, just tear it off. Like, we can't, if we're going to start this new chapter, it's got to be from scratch. Okay. So the real benefit to a lot of you is about the courage to admit you're starting over, and saying, and being cool with it, which is what I did when I started this channel. Because I had a couple of businesses, I had all this experience in TV and everything like that. And I was like, you know what? This new thing is going to be brandy new from the ground up. It didn't mean I didn't use the skills that I had, because I clearly know how to make video, and I've read tarot since I was in college. So, but this new life is so different from that old life in every way imaginable, that when I finally admitted to myself that I have to start from scratch, I feel like that was part of the wound, that I was afraid to look like a beginner. So what is it that you're afraid of? And what path do you need to go, like, okay, starting over? Maybe there's a love relationship that kind of got off sideways, or something that has taken some weird turns, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to erase this. And if that's going to happen, it's going to be on a different page, right? It's going to be a completely different experience than the one we were going for. Like, you said some stupid things, I said some stupid things. Erase, erase, erase. We're going to start over here. Okay? So, Page of Pentacles, starting over. Knight of Pentacles, don't be afraid to be a beginner. Eight of Swords. The Strength card. Three of Cups. That's interesting. The Eight of Wands, lots of 8. Putting in effort. Okay, continue. 9 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, I was looking at this Lovers card and King of Pentacles because I didn't say anything about this, and I feel like for some of you, there was a romantic partner that went down a tangent, went in a different direction of their life, completely different direction in their life. That has blown up and it's completely done. And now we're going to start fresh, right? Like, let's say you dated in high school. They went off on some weird tangent. So you went down a road that, you learned a bunch of stuff. They learned a bunch of stuff. And now they're coming back. But it has to be like, I didn't know you before. All right. I don't know you at all. This is not about a continuation, I guess is my point. This is not about a continuation. This is about a brand new chapter. So we're going to pretend like I never dated you. Don't be afraid to start at the beginning. And I feel like that's going to serve you really well. The Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles are about putting in time and effort. Okay? Putting in some serious time and effort about learning new things, about being loyal, okay? About all kinds of things like that. The Eight of Swords, this is what Pluto is going to purge, because swords is air. We have 8, 9, and 10 of Swords. We have 8 and 9 of Wands, but 8, 9, and 10 of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune here makes me feel like there's some mindset shit that needs to be purged. Some ideas. This is what got us off sideways, okay? This is what got us off sideways. And so, you got a wrong idea in your head. Share. Moonstruck. He's got this wrong idea in his head. All right? And that's what and so things, when you have a wrong idea in your head, like, things unfold and they go sideways. Whatever this wrong idea is, that's the thing that needs to start over. Okay? That's the thing that needs to start over. So let me clarify that a little bit more. World. Ace of Swords. Oh, beauty. Justice. I love it. Knight of Wands. Okay, I'm just going to give you an example. This might be, this is not an extreme example by any stretch, but if your relationship started based on a third party, we got to wipe that slate clean. Okay? And there's karma for that. I feel like some of you are going through situations right now, whatever part of that triangle you were in, you could be reaping some of the karma from past triangles. Okay? And getting it up and out. You're like, I don't like that about myself, that this whole thing started off on a third party situation. I don't want that. I want something to be clean and starting off, straight up. Ace of Swords, Justice. So what might happen is that if this person is coming back around to you in a romantic way after their life blew up, you are going to wait until that divorce is final. They've done some healing work. You're not jumping into that. Start clean. Okay? Start clean. Some of you are dealing with a career issue where you just have to end a certain path. And you might have a bunch of opportunities show up, or a bunch of, right, saying yes to your open door. You might have a bunch of opportunities show up. It might be like a little fits and starts here in the beginning. And I feel like some of you, because of Aquarius is about our networks, social circles. And Aquarius rules the 11th house. And that, if you have a lot of energy in the 11th house is, if you have a lot of, like, maybe if you're a sun Aquarius or something like that, or moon, I'm a Venus Aquarius, whatever, like, social networks play a big role in your life. So you lose a job, you get another one the next day because you know a guy, I know a girl, I know somebody over here, I know somebody over there. Like, I'm always, networking and making collaborations are really important to me. So that could be the way. And it's like, I guess Big Bang is a good example with Penny, who was a waitress. She wanted to be an actress. It just wasn't working out. Okay. So, her car blew up. She had a lot of problems happen. She owed a lot of money, and she's just like, this is not working. Okay. And so Bernadette got her an opportunity to get a job, and she was really good at it, right? She's really good at being in sales. And that's kind of like an Aquarian thing, where that network, that TV show with that collaboration of those friends, Nobel Prize, each one of them benefited from that group of friends. If you go around the circle and you look at each one of them, they all benefited from having that circle of friends, where they might not have benefited. We don't know that because this is what happened. But it's very Aquarian to have all boats rise, right? Everybody in the circle benefited. That's very Aquarian. And so if things are very much out of balance, when only one set of people benefit from a way we're doing things, that is unsustainable. Okay. So, if you're looking at the, all of the tech bros and all that stuff, it's like a small group of people cannot benefit. It has to flow out to everybody. And right now it doesn't look like it's flowing out to everybody, but we don't know that yet. My Aquarian spidey senses tell me that that's going to be forced upon them, that it's going to need to be everybody benefits. And I feel like that will be a revolution, which is very Aquarian. We're, evolving, and revolution can be part of this. It's very much in the astrology that the people, all of the people, not just some of the people, all of the people need to benefit. And I see this 3 of Cups here for sure with this Strength card. So this can be this summer, from this time, that Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius is there for 20 years. So pace yourself. Okay. But then this 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and 6 of Pentacles down here, there is a sense of justice. Things need to be just. Things need to be just. And so in these first days and weeks and months of Pluto transiting into Aquarius, the first planet it hits in a conjunction is the sun. And so that's telling us that we're going to get some early ahas about what's this next 20 years going to look like. And they are going to be Aquarian for sure. And I feel like we are, within the next 6 months to a year, that a lot of any kind of unconscious things personally for you may be brought to light. And so you're like, oh God, I don't like that about myself. I'm kind of petty. I feel jealous about this. Like, it comes to light and you're like, oh, I didn't know that I was really behaving like that. I don't want that. I'm going to evolve, right? I'm going to revolutionize my behavior. Oh, I didn't, I had a friend of mine, very petty, and got someone torpedoed who really needed the job. She went to HR and knocked it down. So my friend did not get the job. And I found out a couple weeks later, and I was like, why did you do that? Never mind. I don't want to know. And that was the end of that friendship, because it was so egregious that my friend was worried that she would have to answer to this person. So anyway, just know that these things are coming to light. So pay attention in your own chart. Again, let's talk about that in the extended. I'm going to continue on here, but I do want to look at this 8 and 9 of Wands. This is something about messages coming in for us, clarity coming in for all of us with that Ace of Swords. 4 of Wands. I like that. Ooh, Queen of Swords, baby. 5 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. This is about anybody who is being manipulative or being petty, being, you know, cutthroat, behind the back, things like that. That ain't gonna last. That ain't gonna last, because Aquarius is the power of all the people. Interesting. All right, let's see where we go. If you want to continue on with me, I will pull cards for each zodiac sign. I urge you to look at those in relationship to your rising sign. If you don't know how to do that, you can jump into my astrology class. We have a session 3 Thursdays out of 3 Thursdays out of the month. Hermit just jumped up when I said that. Learning a lot about ourselves, aren't we? All right, link is below if you want to continue with this reading. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.